It's Monday. It's morning.
Ooh. I realized that I don't think Phil has gotten a chance to do the intro. He's been really...
He's got to fucking earn his way, dude. I've been here for 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's really been asking every week.
You can't fire me.
Please, guys, let me do the intro just once, please, Mr. Darce.
Basically,
and I said...
Wait, that's Phil?
What?
This is... Oh, okay. This is you.
That's what he sounds like to me. How does he sound like to you?
It's slightly different.
Oh, okay.
More of an accent, I think. I can't place where it's from, though.
Please try. Whoa. Wow, Phil. Is that you?
Yeah, Phil. Hold on. Let me do the impression, Phil. Jesus.
Dude, we should do a merch giveaway where you have to send in your best Phil impression.
That's sick.
And whoever is the closest
we should do a full
gets
Phil
a free
episode
shirt.
where he's the only one on the mic.
Yeah, that would be so good. Based on how good you did it, you could probably just do that.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that would be great for you.
Phil would be mad. Plus, like, Phil's already here to replace me. If anyone's wondering how Phil got the job, basically Sling Dingers was like, we need to replace Scones with a younger, sexier personality. And
yeah, you baby.
There he is.
There he is. That's him. As you can tell by your ears, you are imagining a hot young thing. A PYT, if you will.
I love you.
Little Phil. A PYT is a Phil Young thing.
That's a shirt. Print it.
That's Phil's full initials.
That's
full name.
A shirt. PYT in big letters and a hot car under it.
Phil.
Yeah, I love this.
I love it. Darce, I'm drinking a Guinness. I'm not going to lie to you. It's that time of year.
Scony drinky Guinea.
Where...
What? Oh, it's almost St. Patty's.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm drinking, and please don't get mad at me, the world, for this. I'm drinking a Mountain Dew Spark.
Why is the world getting mad?
You ever heard?
Did Mountain Dew do something? Did they do something other than the Dew?
I don't want people to think I'm a Mountain Dew drinking, Spark drinking guy. I want them to think I'm like sipping a bourbon right now, but I can't right now. I just can't. I need I need something caffeinated. I need something that's like so sweet that I want to throw up.
He drinks Mountain Dew all the time. Don't listen to him. He has a pair of white sunglasses and his pickup truck has a Monster sticker on it. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, listen, Yellow 5 has done some damage, baby. Write in if you know about Yellow 5 growing up.
Okay.
Because Scones didn't, and I thought it was a common knowledge.
Write in if you know about the color green growing up. Those are such deep cuts to specifically. I think my group of friends, if any, like from high school, even if they hear this, maybe Jimmy might remember that. But other than that, no one's going to know.
Dude, Jimmy, love Jimbo.
Hey, Jimbo, if you're out there, it's me, your first papa.
What does it mean? Decipher, play it backwards.
Yeah,
It'll
there
be the devil.
It'll be like Jimmy is dad.
Guys, welcome.
You somehow said Jimbo and it's Jimmy, but it's backwards.
Yeah, and it's still Jimmy is dead. That's the scariest part. If you start episode 1 of our podcast when Dorothy's house takes off, it matches up perfectly. I hope you guys understand the line of logic we're going on here. Welcome to Monday Morning Macabre, the show where me and Scones talk about spooky, creepy stuff in a very serious, not silly way. Each week, we bring you some hot chocolate.
Hot chotties.
And by hot chotties, we mean macabre, sad things. But we also make silly voices. So you can't 1-star this podcast, baby.
I like to think it makes us
going to the
more
moon.
Original. Also,
I like to too. I think
the last podcast on the left.
Scones is trying to start beef with anyone he
Dude,
can.
I'm coming out swinging this St. Patrick's Day as my ancestors once did.
Oh, amen. Did you know? Can you give us a little St. Patrick's history? Is this a St. Patrick's Day episode? When does St. Patrick's Day fall? The 20th?
Basically, St. Patrick is credited with driving out all the snakes out of Ireland, but there were never snakes on Ireland.
Yeah.
It's actually a metaphor for driving all the Druids out of Ireland to make room for the Catholics.
I thought it was like the snakes were a metaphor for like his haters online.
That's not
like
far
trolls,
off,
you know?
I guess.
Yeah. I thought that was like a Kanye Pete Davidson thing.
Essentially. So
yeah.
All the
Okay.
druids were sleeping with St. Patrick's wife. Yes, this lines up perfectly. He called them a bunch of
Yeah.
skeets, and then they got out of Ireland.
And then they skirted out of Ireland. Guys, today is a day. I'm gonna be. I think I short circuited because this Mountain Dew sparks running through my
It's a little
cornea.
This epi's coming out a little late. We acknowledge that.
Yeah, a little
But,
late.
Hey, it's St. Patrick's
we
Day
acknowledge
week.
it, but it'll still be out on a Monday, so you can't say it's not Monday morning.
Yeah, we're doing all our
baby.
classic March stuff.
Unless you're from another country where it is Tuesday by now, and in which case
probably not St. Patrick's Day.
move.
Unless it's Ireland.
Yeah.
Wait, do they
So,
celebrate St. Patrick's Day
today-
in any country besides Ireland and America?
I would assume everybody. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody. I don't think I would assume Canada does. I don't know.
Oh, wait, Canada definitely does because they
wouldn't
do on an episode of Letterkenny. Also, people are filling out their brackets this week because it's March Madness, kid.
March Madness. We should do a bracket of serial killers,
Ooh.
and the fans get to vote.
Now we're
on
talking,
who
dude.
beats who. Content.com
Now we're talking. Maybe we let Patreon listeners make
Lord
brackets
stop me.
along with us, and then the winner gets a free
Oh
merch
my
or something. I
God.
don't know.
Free Mickey. Free Mickey.
You said it, Phil.
Hey Phil, you said it best, brother.
Listen to me, Phil.
All right.
You said it, brother.
Listen, Phil, brother. You said it best.
Ford trucks. I'm going to be bringing you, Scones, today a little fan request, little listener suggestion.
Ooh, is it going to be about a Dodge Ram, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year?
Shit.
Phil,
No.
is that a hot car? A Dodge Ram Motor Trend's Truck of the Year?
You know.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Ooh, that tonight's gonna be a good night. And speaking of good nights,
Sucking down this Guinness real fast, Darius. Where are we going with this?
Okay, so this is a listener suggestion from Kristen. Shout out to Kristen on Instagram. She sent us a little
ditty?
tale that's pretty little ditty about the Carter brothers, aka New Orleans sibling vampire duo.
What?
We're like Spotify's sibling vampire duo. So I thought, let's find out what these
Wait,
Carter brothers are about.
What? You just blew my mind right there. What did you say about Spotify?
I said we're Spotify's sibling
Oh,
vampire
I thought you
duo.
said there was already established like I was like, who is it? Is it Neil Young and fucking Joe Rogan?
No, yeah, it's yep, that's the vampire duo.
Heard they had a falling out.
No, I was making a top 10 joke of the year.
Ooh,
This is
can't wait till the best ofs.
Oh, we gotta band tickle those
Tickle those-
boneskis. Tickle your D. Yeah, your D's. Hey
Hey,
guys,
we're back.
and we're back.
Thanks for hitting rewind.
Beautiful rendition of that intro song. They nail it every time.
I am vying. I'm really campaigning out here for a Tiny Desk concert of our band. NPR. Hit us up.
just for cadaver like skeleton, like medical skeleton
Who I
things,
think we
just
may have
sitting there.
established are like alt-right conspiracy people, but they're skeletons.
Let's just say they're all sick on January 6th. It was weird, but they all called out. So this is a ranker.com article.
Someone's gonna be like, "Don't joke
Written by-
about that," and we're gonna be like, "They're
Yeah,
they're undead skeleton band members that may or may not
Yeah.
exist."
So this is written by Jody Smith.
Jody Smith.
And
Wait, who is this article from?
Jody. This is ranker.com. This is
Ooh,
not all that's interesting.
I like
Yeah.
it. Variety's the
It's
spice.
ranker.com graveyard shift.
Ah,
shift,
that's a
shift,
sick name for a
shift.
podcast. I'm
Yeah,
moving
we
my
kinda blew
mic a little
it.
bit. Hope that wasn't too
Yeah, it's everyone's
hope that didn't
left.
boom your bap.
So let's get into this,
Finally.
Scony. What a rude thing to say.
What about just a dig? I contributed equally to the nonsense at the beginning, but I
Yeah,
was
to
like,
the
God damn,
nonsense.
finally.
Oh, okay. So, the Louisiana city of New Orleans is infamous for many
heard of it.
things.
Check out our New Orleans episode.
Yeah, we have an entire episode, but we didn't talk about these douchers. The streets filled with debauchery during Mardi Gras and infamous murderers like Madame LaLaurie.
Check out episode.
Uh-oh. We did it. We did her.
The Simpsons did it.
Its blood-soaked history is filled with monsters disguised as regular
New Orleans
people.
is sick.
With tales of...
I've never
is sick.
been,
We should go
but
sometime.
yeah, it's sick. They just have like,
Great
they're
vibe.
just like, do you want spooky shit and really good food? And I'm like, yes.
And they'll be like, yeah, does that make me Creole? And they're like, no, that's like, you can't just choose to be. And I'm like,
And then
I'll still take a
and then they have
beignet.
like Mardi Gras, which is like supposed to be a Catholic holiday, but it's also the closest thing to the purge that exists in real life.
Oh, that'd be a great Purge movie, dude. There's people out there who's like, my favorite movie series is The Purge. And I'm like,
They're like real nihilistic
and-
people, if that's true.
So, tales of witchery, ghosts, and vampires around every corner. Two of the lesser-known fiends of New Orleans are actually a pair of brothers named John and Wayne Carter.
They're gonna say John and Wayne Gacy. I was like, wait. It's a clumsy portmanteau. I don't think this is real.
Yep. Yeah, I love poor man toes. Poor man's toes. That's my
Poor man's
favorite
toes
gumbo.
also sounds like some weird like ritual
Yeah.
that you do on Mardi Gras. You'd worship some guy's toes, and he'd be a really fat guy dressed up like a jester.
I think it sounds like a southern dish.
Ooh,
Sounds like a crawdad
little
dish.
crawdad dish.
Yeah, I'll
Dars,
have
now
a-
that you're a father of
poor
two, can I call
man's
you the crawdad?
what? Why two? What does two have to do with crawdad?
Well, I didn't do it when you had one, so figure I might as well
So there
start
you
when
go.
you got two. You know, before you get to three.
Yeah, you can call
I gotta
me.
get ahead of the game.
So legend has it that two dock worker brothers were vampires who snatched up more than a dozen victims in the 1930s, holding them captive in their shared home in order to drain and drink their blood. After one of their prisoners escaped their shared room and alerted police, the full scope of their mania was revealed. While the brothers were tried and executed for their crimes, many claim to see them still haunting the streets of New Orleans, taking their place in the grand lore of the city.
Heck yeah.
So,
Who's the person we talked about who has like the gravestone that people will write on in New Orleans?
that's Laveau? Madame Laveau? I think. Me thinky? Oh, me thinky. In 1932, a young girl ran frantically down the street until a police officer spotted her.
Wait, sorry, what year?
1932.
So the police officer is like, he's like twirling his billy stick.
He's like, "Hey!" Yeah, exactly. Slow down. Unless you run into church that you're late for.
Drinking's a crime.
No wonder there's so much heinous shit going on. According to lore, one day in 1932, a young girl escaped from the house shared by brothers John and Wayne Gacy as she made her way down
They're like
Royale
a
Street.
Voltron and they turn into a clown.
That's
It's so
horrifying.
scary. It's scarier than either of the two pieces.
Yep. Yeah, the sum of their parts is spooky as fuck. As she made her way down Royale Street, a New Orleans police officer stopped her and listened to her incredible story. Supposedly, she and others were tied up in the Carters' home so the pair could drink their blood. The girl had her wrist cut to enable a long, slow bleed, and depending on the report, she either offered to take the officer back to her former prison on the corner of Royale Street and St. Anne Street, or was rushed to the hospital.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I haven't had
Don't
anything
lie
to
to me,
eat since
Scones.
11. I'm feeling pretty weird right now.
Oh, scones on that one Guinness Express.
Well, one Guinness might be a bit of a stretch. A bit of a
a bit of a stretch. I mean, you've had less than a
the
kiss.
opposite. A bit of a pinch.
Okay.
It's the opposite of a stretch.
Understatement, you could have said, I suppose.
True.
Now we know it's an understatement. Regardless of how the police made it back to the Carter home to investigate the girl's claims. Oh, sorry. Let me reread that sentence. I'm so stupid.
Rewind.
Regardless of how, the police did make it back to the Carter home to investigate the girl's claims of vampires in the French Quarter, which is also a sick name for a movie.
Which one?
Vampires in the French Quarter.
That is a sick name for a movie. Either that or like a weird romantic novel.
Yeah. Like Werewolf in London, Vampire in the French Quarter.
Woo.
Police woo. Police walked into a horrifying scene at the Carter home. Police made it to the Carter home and found that the residents were absent. Upon breaking in, authorities allegedly found upwards of a dozen bodies with wrists slit and blood drained. Yeah, they had like 5-star wanted level.
Wrist slashing is a crazy way to commit murder.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you need to drink their blood, it makes sense, I guess.
But the throat, like, you have to literally get one and then get the other. While the person's maybe they're killing them beforehand.
Well, they're chained up. I'm imagining they're like blood
okay,
bag, you know, like yeah. I don't think they're just like, okay, go ahead.
They're like really coordinated brothers, like they're getting both at the same time.
Yeah, they're like on three. It's like on 3 or on go.
That's how they got caught.
They're just bickering. So some bodies were wrapped in sheets and all appeared as though they'd been there for many days. The Carter brothers were nonchalantly working their dock job, unworried about their prey escaping and alerting authorities.
What?
They were dock workers.
Oh, it's not what I thought you said.
What did you think I said, Scones? Let's get into it.
I'd love to hear working that dock job. I was like, what? Are they prostitutes? What does that mean?
Yo, John Wayne Gacy gives the best dock jobs in New Orleans.
He's like,
I hate this.
People died.
Unworried about their prey escaping and alerting authorities, police decided to wait in the brothers' apartment for them to return in order to apprehend them. The police decided to ambush the Carter brothers in their home. Some say that the police left 10 of their largest officers in the Carter apartment to take on the alleged vampires, which is like, could you imagine being in the lineup where they're like, okay, we're going to take you.
Everybody line up by height.
Yeah, exactly. Top 10 tallest take on the vampires. Be like, fuck.
Great day to wear my flats, baby.
Such a sick day in the New Orleans police precinct.
So when they returned, so when they chose the 10 largest officers in the Carter in the
Carter 5.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne.
To stay at the Carter apartment to take on the alleged vampires when they returned after dark to feed. Apparently, the brothers worked from pre-dawn to dusk, removing the bandages from their captives' wrists and drinking their blood before wrapping them up again. When the brothers walked into the apartment this night, it supposedly took 7 or 8 police officers to subdue the 2 average-sized men.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Well, you gotta be strong if you're giving out dock jobs, dude.
Well, the thing is, you'd picture if this was like today, well documented in real life, probably after about 1 day of drinking another person's blood, they'd be so sick and frail. And
yeah. Well, not if they're vampires, dude.
Exactly.
I mean, like we've solved the it's true. We've proved
it's true. We know we're privy to the vampire dock jaws.
Privy to those dock jibbies. Other versions of the legend say the brothers, each standing around 5'6" and weighing under 160 pounds, did fight off 4 officers and leapt from their balcony. Unharmed, the 2 bolted off into the night. In this telling, police regrouped and decided to hit the docks where the Carter brothers worked the next day. So here's the version where they arrested them at the docks.
The brothers went to work the next day?
That's a good point. They're like, they'll never catch us at the docks where we were.
Sucked down blood. Got busted. Fought
man,
off 10 of the biggest police officers in the fucking like middle school lineup. Then we're like,
Dude,
shit, it's 6 a.m. I gotta get down and get those dockers
Dockers
out.
never rest, baby.
Dude, that's that Sigma grind set.
I know, it's a gig economy, baby. In the version in which the Carter brothers escaped the ambush in their apartment, they make the mistake of keeping to their everyday routine.
Sigma grind
They
set.
showed up for work at the docks the very next day, and the police arrested them. As soon as they were in cuffs, John and Wayne supposedly began admitting they were vampires. They also asked the police to go ahead and kill them, because they would continue capturing people and drinking their blood if they remained alive.
Please tell me the police staked them or something.
That'd be sick. No.
What are
The police-
So they could stake them. They could cut off their heads. What are
They
the
cut
ways
off
to
their
kill a
heads,
vampire?
they could stake them. I think
Leave them on the sun.
make fun of their height because they were under 6 feet tall.
Short king.
Yeah, they're short kings in a. I think that
Yeah, just make a
hurts
girl who's
them.
5'7" make fun of them, and then
and then they just turn to
they're
dust.
devastated beyond belief. Yeah.
So the police determined that the Carter brothers were human, and they were found guilty of murder. Great police work.
Solid detectives. I
although at
wonder
least
if
one-
the really tall detectives did that part too.
Sarge, I gotta tell you.
I picture the crew that rolled in was like a fucking NBA basketball team worth of
yeah, it was like the
cops.
it was like the what's the movie I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Oh my god,
Space Jam?
Space Jam. Yes,
Monstars?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Is the I was gonna say they're like the Monstars from Space Jam. Well done.
3 years,
Although
baby. 3 years of doing this.
God damn it.
Although at least one version of the Carter brothers' legends say they escaped immediately after their captive did, most of the stories see them tried as serial killers in court. Presumably unable to convince the courts of their superhuman status, they were held accountable for their actions.
Would that make them not guilty?
Yeah, right? Why would that change
Does
anything?
the law not cover actual vampires? If so,
Yeah,
we
well,
should think about that next time elections roll around in November.
True.
Make sure all laws cover all undead.
Yeah. So they were found accountable for their actions, found guilty, and sentenced to death for their crimes. After their executions, held either immediately or years after. That's
What?
very wild, depending on which story you choose.
Oh, okay.
The
Choose your
men
own
were,
adventure.
yeah, exactly. The men were laid to rest in their family vault in New Orleans. Now here's where we get extra creepy,
Ooh.
Scony.
How were they executed? Does it say? Were they just dunked on by huge policemen until they died?
Yeah, they were chained up to just below the net, and these dudes just came. Like, they had a bunch of mascots hit the trampoline and just
Got fucking posterized to death.
yeah, slam him a ding donged straight to the grave.
This is March.
Their tomb was opened years later, but the bodies had disappeared. Uh-oh, where'd they go?
Oh, where are those bodies?
When the next Carter family member passed away, the vault holding John and Wayne it was Gacy Carter, was open to slide in the new casket. However, the vault allegedly held no trace of the brothers' remains at all. It is said that vampires love the blood of family members best, and so they're kind of like they're from Alabama, and that the procession of got 'em. And the procession of vampire remains to the New Orleans cemetery was a zigzagging one to confuse the deceased's sense of direction.
Wait,
Apparent.
you have to say that sentence
Okay.
over again because I have no idea what's happening.
It is said that vampires love blood of family members best, especially in Alabama.
Hey,
Hey. And that the procession of vampire remains to the New Orleans cemetery was a zigzagging one to confuse the deceased's sense of direction. Do you follow, Scones?
so in order to
They're
bury
saying
them,
when they went to bury
did,
them,
like,
they're like serpentine. Yeah,
We went different
yeah.
tones on that serpentine, but yeah.
Yeah. So they Benny Hilled it to the
And the vampire woke up and was like, what the where am I?
They're like, wait, hold on, brother. Apparently, this was enough to keep the Carter brothers away from their kin, but not enough to keep them from escaping their tomb. There have been reported sightings of the Carter brothers in recent years. The Island Boys.
Now that's all I picture the Carter brothers looked like.
Ever since their entombment and subsequent escape from their family vault, people have reported seeing the brothers out and about in New Orleans. Someone living in their apartment located in the house on the corner of St. Anne and Royale Street claimed he saw two men on the balcony. That sounds just like a thing that could happen.
Nope, this is it. That's real. That's the Carters.
That's truth. That's love. That's the Carters.
Just as they did the day the police ambushed them, the pair of specters leaped from the balcony and into the ether. Other stories about the brothers' return center around the celebration of Mardi Gras, with their favorite pastime being whispering on, then jumping from balconies.
What? They whisper on?
Yeah, like they
Is that another male prostitute thing?
They kind of float around and then be like, later, homies. One of their captives is said to have also turned into a vampire. Legend has it that for one to turn into a vampire, they must be fed upon 7 times and live. According to many reports, several of the living victims found in the Carter apartment fit these circumstances. Supposedly, one named Felipe went on his own rampage of blood drinking, tallying at least 32 victims.
Wow.
His diary was found in a Bourbon Street dwelling and documented his descent into madness, reporting crazed dreams of blood. He disappeared from the city in 1949.
We get our hands on that diary.
Yeah, I want Felipe's diary.
We gotta sneak in when Felipe is like babysitting someone.
Yeah, this is the Disney Channel original movie version. We're like, Felipe, what's over there? And then you grab it from behind.
The perfect plan.
The perfect crime. Another source alleges that a different vampire emerged from the Carter apartment, eventually racking up a murder toll of 442 people. There is no mention of drinking the victim's blood, but the vampire did allegedly dissolve bodies in acid instead. One victim escaped vampirism, but reportedly committed herself voluntarily to an insane asylum after her ordeal. The building the brothers reportedly lived in is still standing. The House of Horrors that held the Carter apartment is still in New Orleans on the corner of St. Anne and Royale Street and is being rented to new tenants. Some residents see the brothers whispering on balconies before jumping to the street and running off. Apparently, the house's lease is broken quite often due to strange happenings in the former vampire lair.
Getting
the
all
brothers
whispered
also,
on.
Yep. The brothers also reportedly run loose throughout the city, terrifying those who recognize them. Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
So that's the story of Doc Job Carter.
What?
Doc Job Carter?
Desk Jockey Carter?
Yep. So that's the Carter brothers. Just a couple of crazy kids down in old St. Louis.
Just kids who let the Mardi Gras celebration get away from them.
Yeah, you know. Dock workers turn vampire people.
One cool thing about New Orleans, based on
one cool thing about me
is that I noticed.
Let's go around the table. Say one cool thing about you.
One really cool thing about me is that I noticed that about New Orleans and our different stories about them is that doesn't seem to be a lot of construction turnover, and that all these fucking crazy buildings are still there.
Yeah, they're still standing. It is nuts.
Like Nick every Cage owns the fucking like LaLaurie mansion or whatever,
which is super fucking
or he
cool.
used to at one point. I think Kristen told us about that as well. But yeah, absolute nutty
bars, brother.
So we gotta get to New Orleans at some point.
We gotta hit up Mardi Gras, get some beignets, get some
crawdads,
beads, dudes, crawdads,
gumbo,
where the crawdad sings or whatever that book's called. That's popular, like last year.
Yeah, people loved that book. I didn't even fucking touch it.
I don't touch books.
No,
baby.
but I do touch fried shrimp po' boys.
Woo! I've
man,
seen
oh,
Scones
man.
touching so many po' boys.
I love me some po' boys.
So
that chicken from Popeyes.
Popeyes. Wow. That's a callback. Guys, thank you for listening again to The Legend of the Carter Brothers, New Orleans sibling vampire duo. I'm Darce, and this is NPR.
Now, the Tiny Desk concert.
Clank, 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 clank. Actually, in my head, it just sounds like a bunch of what are those? What's the instrument I'm thinking of? Scones? Go ahead.
Xylophone.
Thank you. Just a bunch of xylophones.
But it's their rib cages.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just
Yeah.
dancing like on strings.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Go follow us on our socials.
Do it.
Twitter, MMMacabre Monday Morning Macabre on Instagram, and MondayMorningMacabre.com to hop on the Patreon, get some merch, listen to all the episodes, do all the stuff. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the Carter Brothers doc jobs as much as we did. And besides that, have a great Monday.
Have a great Monday.
Bye.
Bye.